Well, after a couple of weeks of losses, the Indian markets are finally getting out of the slumber because this week we have inched a gain of 1.3% on the Nifty, and the Nifty Bank also pretty much in tandem with a gain of around 1.4 to 1.5%. The outperformance this time around has actually come in from the broader markets, and that's really the good news, that the mid-cap index was up around 2.4% and even the small-cap index surged as much as 2.5% this week. But for today, some of the stocks which are buzzing in trade include names like Mahindra CIE, which is up around 6%. Zomato has also seen a sharp spike in the last few minutes itself. So that is now trending towards the 70 rupee mark. Let's pull up the intraday chart of Zomato and that will tell you almost 70 rupee mark. Remember, the stock has been meandering around that 60 mark for the longest time. So finally breaking out of that zone as well. Separately, Fact is the one stock which is up around 5%. Rights is up another 5%. And Mazgaon Dock, which has had a solid run yesterday, continues the up move today as well. So Mazgaon Dock is up around 4% today as well. On the losing end, it continues to be Varroc Engineering, which is coming under pressure. And to add to that list, you have a few names from the Adani pack, the likes of Adani Gas, etc., which are coming under pressure. And Jubilant Food as well is taking it on the chin today, down about 3%. However, having said all of that, we have to prepare for what's coming for us in the coming week, and that is, of course, a lot of earnings. So from India, a lot of the IT majors will be reporting its numbers, starting with TCS itself on 10th of October, followed by HCL Tech and Wipro on Wednesday. And on Thursday, finally, we'll get Infosys, and Bajaj Auto will be towards the later half of the week. Not just that, in terms of the other cues which are lined up for India, we'll get the CPI as well as the IIP data. CPI will be very important to track to see whether inflation has been limited or not around that 7% mark, and WPI too. In that context is important, and trade data with respect to what's happening to currency will be important to track. In the US markets, there are a lot of earnings from a lot of banking majors, the likes of Morgan Stanley, etc. But there'll be the monthly budget statement which will be out. The FOMC minutes will be important to track, and jobless claims will also be important. Today, of course, we'll get the jobs data, which we'll react to only Monday morning. So that is something to watch out for as well. Separately, in terms of the earnings coming in, as I mentioned, it is a couple of banking names, the like of Citigroup as well as Morgan Stanley. So lots of things lined up for us in the coming week. This was a truncated one, but let's see how the next week pans out. With that, back to you guys.
Isha, thanks so much for doing the full market and telling us what's really happening in over there.